Wilson with Dan Brownlie after the 2-0 loss at Hendon. And Dan, there didn't seem to be much between the teams on the day. What did you think was different?
Moments. I think you're right. I think if you dissect the game into maybe 10-minute chunks over a 90-minute period, I think we've probably been better for, say 5 of them at least. And you're right, I think the first 15-20 minutes I thought they were the better side, the ball better than us, we weren't close enough to them. We grew into the game a little bit, and the second half I think we did really well, but unfortunately the levels of quality in the final moments were just non-existent. I just said to the group there that you need to play for 90 minutes. You don't always need to play well, you need to be effective. And there's periods of games now where it's only 10-15 minutes, and every team has it. You've got to. It doesn't matter how well you play, and there'll be a 15-minute period where the opposition will have a dominant period. It might be split up into 5 chunks, 3 minutes or whatever. But in those moments, you need to be effective. At the moment, those moments we're not being effective, and we're being punished by punishment. And the 2 goals are testament to that. Like from our side, they're incredibly poor goals to be conceded. So it's a disappointing one, that, because on the overall performance I don't necessarily know that we deserve it. We've had 3 really good chances. Scotty's at the bar, Louise's save in the second half, Danny Rose one in the first. We've also had a couple of flashes across goal where you think you get a toe onto the end of it, it's a goal. So it's a disappointing one, that, because I think we deserve something from it, but unfortunately you don't deserve something from it if you're prepared to switch off for 10 minutes.
Scored a goal in the league at least for about 6 months now. Does that come down to just missed chances for you? Is it about them defending well? What is it?
A bit of both, I guess. Like the last 10-15 minutes we huffed and again we dominated the ball and we worked the ball into good areas, but we never really found that opening, and that was partly down to our decision making, partly down to their defending. I think you can marry those 2 up. And I mean, with that, you're right. We've had an incredible goal record in terms of scoring. I think the last one was Hamburg Villa at home. I think that's the last time we did score. And if you had to go back into last season, I mean, the sign of a good side is usually that you still create chances. And we've done that today, as I've said before. But I mean, for as many chances we've created, it's the defensive work that's undone us again today, and that's the most disappointing factor. Like, just defining moments in games, like even the second goal there, we're not stretched. Like, it's not that goal where they've broken away and scored. We're set, we're ready. We've made defensive errors and it's cost us. But that's not just on the back 4. It's not on Struds. It's not on the defensive midfielders. That's us as a unit. We need to stop attacks right from the front. We need to be better at it.
Back-to-back defeats have been uncommon as well, but it's happened now. What needs to happen to stop that becoming an extended run of bad form?
I guess it's extremitising the idea, because we've won so many games. Like even this year, I think you win 6 on the bounce and draw your 7th. It's not a bad record. I think sometimes these defeats feel harder to swallow because of how well we've done. It was the same last year. You win 16 on the bounce, you lose against Hamburg Villa, and it's like the world was crumbling around you. But the reality is that, like, if you lose back-to-back games, it's not the end of the world. It's how we react to it. But I'm not here to do anything else other than try and win football matches. And I appreciate we've gone up a level, and we've already demonstrated against the sides like Tottenham and Bolton that we can compare ourselves to some of the higher end clubs, if you like, or certainly ones that are considered the top performers. So it's a disappointing day today, because I felt on the site of the game, I felt like we should be at least taking the point away from here. But yeah, in terms of the ongoing games, we've not had a full cycle to really know where we are in the league yet. And obviously that will come once we've had a full cycle. Probably Christmas will probably give us a greater idea as to where we are. But yeah, it's disappointing to lose any game, let alone back-to-back, and then you back that up with going to play Murphy on Tuesday, which is going to be an incredibly tough test against probably one of the most fancied teams in the league. So yeah, it's not been made easy, and the preparation's not particularly great, but it is what it is, and we'll do our best on Tuesday.
How does going into a game against a team like that, off the back of a couple of defeats, change the complexion of it compared to when playing Bolton and Tottenham off good results?
Confidence is probably one. I've always said you can't really take too much in from the game before. obviously there's a level of momentum, there's form, there's people playing playing well and feeding off that. So there is a little bit of that, and obviously we can't take that into Tuesday. And I think the reality is we've probably got to make a few changes. The issue with that at the moment is that contributory in terms of the subs that we're making, they're not making the impact necessarily that we want them to make either. So the squad we've got, it's a small squad at the minute, with the likes of Reedy, Artwell, Donny all out, which are huge misses. I mean, 3 of you just talented boys in your team, certainly not there. So it's not made easy, but you've got to trust the squad, and at the moment I'm looking at it going, maybe we have to change something, particularly Tuesday when you invite a team down that's so effective in attack. So we may look to make changes. We'll see what bodies we've got and if there's any returning, but yeah, it's not an ideal situation, but that's football, you know. We've had the great times here, we'll have some darker days, and you pull yourself through it, that's football. So we're not going to get despondent, we're not too concerned, it's just making sure that we turn up on Tuesday, and 9 times out of 10 the boys do that, you know. This is, like you say, the first back-to-back defeats again since that Hamworth game, Hamworth and Wolverhampton. So if you're looking 6 months into the past, it's going to happen at some stage. It's just unfortunate today.
Cheers.